When it comes to Star Wars in live action and on TV, they were trying to get a series off the ground as early as 2006. This of course would come to get known as Star Wars Underworld, which ultimately was scrapped. But now we get more details on what exactly it was supposed to be. So if you guys would like all the details, because there's quite a lot that was gathered by Collider, it is linked down below. It's rather lengthy, and they talk about all the aspects of the series that they're legally allowed to talk about. Now, they specifically talk about the 40 plus scripts that were fully complete, saying that there were 48 in total that were going for this series. Now, not only that, they also talk about what was happening with it, the development, George Lucas writing them, and the ideas. Now, of course, the series would have been set between Star Wars Episode 3 and 4, during that time where the Empire was just running rampant on the universe, where of course the current Disney era has given us the likes of Solo and Rogue One, and on the animated side, of course, Star Wars Rebels. Now, they do go on and say one of the major reasons was due to the technological advances and what they had to do, and the amount of CG and virtual sets that they needed for the scripts that they wrote would have essentially put it in line with a film per episode. So you're looking back about 15 years ago, spending 50 to 100 million per episode on a TV series. That's unheard of. You can't even do that today. I mean, the total budget for The Mandalorian is 80 to 100 million, and that's way more than a few episodes, right? So again, expectations and technology just were not there at the time. Now, what they go on and say is George Lucas's limitations, where he actually didn't give them any. He literally just said, and I quote, "Write them as big as you want, and we'll figure it all out later." And then they mention how there was really no budgetary concerns when writing. And then there is the quote about the structure, where he says, and I quote, "Yeah, I think it was pretty much one big storyline. It was one long tale with episodic things that would happen. You know, there would be certain events that would happen in this episode or this episode, so it was sort of episodic quality of some of it, but it was telling a larger narrative in terms of the story of those particular characters in that setting." And again, from what we understand, this series also would have shown us the infamous level 1313 of Coruscant, which of course there was even a game being built around that, and it was rumored that these things could have connected in some way, but ultimately, we'll never know the bigger grand scope of how it was all going to work. But it sounds pretty fascinating nonetheless, and if you guys want the full story, again, it is linked down below. But hopefully someday we'll see more elements of this appear in something down the road from Disney.